In this episode of The Walking Dead Reviews, we will be talking about last week's episode as well as this week's episode because I missed last week's episode because Advanced Warfare came out. But anyway, stay tuned for more Walking Dead reviews. What is going on, everyone? This is Ninja Geek here, and today we have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare gameplay. This is the first time Advanced Warfare will be on the Walking Dead review series, of course with more pictures as well as we talk about both episodes of The Walking Dead, because last week, of course, Advanced Warfare did come out, so I covered that a lot on my channel. So if you missed a lot of those videos, you could go back and watch some of them. Some of them are kind of like important tip videos and stuff like that you may want to check out, and other ones are kind of like live commentaries. I did an Infected live com. I still got to do more of that stuff. But anyways, if you like the content, subscribe for more. And we're going to get right into this because we have some things to talk about. So basically, the last week that it was going to be Monday, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and make the Walking Dead video, and then later on, I'm going to, post my Advanced Warfare videos. It's kind of because I always do the Walking Dead thing on a Monday, and I was like, I'm going to just do it because I want to do it like every time, but with Advanced Warfare coming out, I didn't want to make too many videos in one day, and I ended up making 4 videos, and if I did the Walking Dead thing, it would have been 5 videos, and then I saw the episode, and it was about Beth, and it was an okay episode, don't get me wrong, but there was nothing to talk about, so I'm going to include it in this episode anyways, because there was not really lots to talk about, lots really didn't happen. We didn't really see anything except Beth come back and what she's been doing during all of this. And we didn't see, who was with Daryl either, so, that's something that we still have to look forward to. But anyways, so in the episode Slabtown, which was the 4th episode here, going back a little bit from the week before, we saw Beth in the hospital area where apparently she got taken after season 4 ended, and we never knew where she went, and now we finally find out where she goes. And she's basically in this hospital. It's kind of like crazy because there's police there that I don't even know how they ended up getting there or whatever, or creating that organization where there's the doctors there that try and help people that they find on the street. But I did watch one of the spoilers, or not really a spoiler, more of a I don't know how you would say it. It's like a one of the Easter eggs, maybe you could say. I don't know what to call it, but that the Dawn, the lady who was the cop there, the main lady who was the mean one to Beth, the one that was there, that was the main cop. I found out that there was a spoiler within one of the Walking Dead episode 2 webisodes that it kind of looks like somebody that belongs in Rick's group, but again, that's just a spoiler that I've watched a video on, and they do look similar. The pictures do look similar. If she happened to be a part of Rick's group before this all went down, or not Rick's group, I mean Rick's police force down in King County, in not Atlanta, in King County, that's what I meant. That would be pretty interesting because then they would meet up, but so far we don't know anything like that. So that's basically what happened to Beth, and she tried to escape. It didn't go out so well for her, and basically so she's back in the hospital. And then the episode, and at the end of that episode, we get to see Carol come in, and then we find out that because Beth obviously knows that it's Carol that came in. She was just wheeled in, so Carol obviously got hurt. So Carol's obviously not the one with Daryl, obviously not, because she was in the hospital there that they brought them in the last episode, and that's basically where that ended off. And now we are going to talk about the one that happened just yesterday, or the 5th episode. The one that this episode's supposed to be about. So basically it starts off, Abraham, they're heading on their way to Washington, D.C. to complete Eugene's mission. Getting there and trying to find the cure for this thing. It takes them so long because I think, we meet Abraham and all of them back in season 4. So they've been on this mission for a long time. I really like how they did the flashbacks within this episode of Abraham's, flashbacks within the whole entire episode. So like when it would go to a commercial and then it would cut back, it would go to a flashback each time, you know, something would happen. So it would be like, okay, so, you know, it would start off, he would, you know, it would be this random flashback, and then at the end of the flashbacks you get, you know, what it was kind of about. And especially if you watch The Talking Dead afterwards, you get what kind of the flashbacks that Abraham is seeing, you get what kind of those mean, and, you know, how Abraham's story kind of developed and how he actually met Eugene. But so the flashbacks I thought were a really cool part that I thought that I would add in. But basically, in the beginning, you see them heading to Washington on the bus, and the bus basically flips. Now, at first, we don't know, you know, how it flips or anything like that, but we find out later how, so I'm going to wait until later to explain that so it's more explanatory. But the bus flips. It seems like Abraham doesn't know, like, I guess it seems at that point, like, you know, what the hell was Abraham doing? Did he, like, slip on? What did he slip on or whatever? Because we don't know, you know, at what point, you know, Abraham, if, you know, how he was controlling the bus. You know, he could have, like, we don't know what his point of perspective was because it only showed the bus driving down the road. So, you know, there was nothing really that happened there. And then the bus kind of just flipped over in an instant, and basically that was the end of that. They all survived, but they had to continue on down the road. They, you know, they went to this bookstore, I guess you could say, for the night that they spent the night there. And that's basically that. I'm not sure when you find the part about what happens to the bus, but I'm going to explain that at the end, like I said before. So anyway, they're holding up in a bookstore for the night. You know, they gathered some supplies that they need. Abraham wants to leave as soon as possible because he's trying to complete this mission that he's been going for since the middle of Season 4 when we, or actually it was a little after the middle of Season 4 when we actually found, you know, when we found out about Abraham in the series. This mission's been going on for a long time, and that is obviously to get Eugene to Washington to do this, and I think I already mentioned that. So they're holding up in a bookstore. Lots of stuff happens. Before the show came on, actually, it said, like, warning, you know, viewer discretion is advised, but then it was like, you know, I didn't expect this. It was like some sexual scenes or whatever. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm like, what? Wait, did they always say that? And then I got kind of confused. And then this part came in where, you know, Abraham was basically, you know what, to Rosita, and that's basically what happened. I was like, oh, okay, now I understand why they would say that. And then Eugene, you got Eugene there. He's just being a creep looking through the bookshelf, like, what the hell is going on there? Like, I've never seen anything like that. And then, so they basically end up spending the night there anyways. And then the next day, we'll head over to the next day. They head out, and they find a fire truck that actually starts up. But then I guess it breaks down like 2 feet from when they started up. They tried to, like, you know, get it going, and all of a sudden a bunch of zombies come breaking out of a door, and they don't know what to do. There's like an overabundance of it, and Eugene gets on top of the fire truck and sprays them all down with the fire hose. They got the water thing going. It's just insane. He just knocks them all out. Like, they're just instantly dead as soon as Eugene smacks them with that water hose on the fire truck. So then after that, I think they couldn't get the fire truck moving because they decided to go ahead on foot and continue on with the mission as they were walking ahead, because I guess they found this kind of like whiff of a smell going on. And so they go in the direction of the smell from the breeze that it's making, and they find like a whole like farm corroded with just walkers. Like, there's just so, like they're so far away from it, but they could obviously see that it's just a huge land full of them. And Abraham wants to make his way through there, like he's crazy. Like no one would survive that. There's just too many of them. Even if they had like a group with 100 people, I doubt that they would survive going through there. Even Rosita says, you know, like she agrees with them on most things, but this thing isn't. So Abraham gets mad that, you know, he really wants to complete this mission. He doesn't want to go back. He doesn't want to go through any detours or anything like that. So, you know, he does that. So he carries Eugene by the arm, and it turns out that Glenn, Abraham, and Eugene both get in the middle of a fight. Eugene really didn't start anything, but Abraham and Glenn were kind of like, you know, trying to fight each other because, you know, Glenn was like, get your hands off of him, and Eugene was like trying to just keep everyone safe for that, you know, minute, obviously, because he doesn't want anything bad to happen. You could tell he doesn't want to like kill people or anything like that over something stupid, because he can't even like kill zombies. Good thing he saved Tara before when they were coming out of the bus flip, but you know, he can't even, like, you know, defend himself. Well, he has to rely on Abraham and whatever to defend himself, so he obviously doesn't want anything to happen. And that's when we find out the big news and what happens to the truck. So basically we find out here in this part that Eugene tells everyone that it's a lie. He's not a scientist. There is no cure, I guess. I mean, he does say that he's smarter, and he knows some more stuff than lots of other people do know, but he's not a scientist, and he lied about getting to Washington for that. He only wanted to go to Washington for, because he heard that there was this, you know, kind of like refugee center there, I guess, and he lied along the way just to get people to go with him to this, you know, place instead of him going alone, because he needed the defense, because, you know, it was hard to tell. And this is where Abraham gets into the flashback of how he met Eugene when he finds that his family ended up dying out there, and it was a really sad moment. He was about to kill himself, and then Eugene comes along and tells him that he has a very important mission. I thought that they did a really, really good job with the flashbacks from Abraham's point of view. It was a really good episode. I don't know how it competes with the other episodes of the series, but I think this episode was definitely better than the last episode with Beth, because I know we all like Beth, you know, as a character within The Walking Dead, but last week's episode just it was one of those episodes that you didn't really need to watch to understand. It was like one of those episodes that you felt kind of like I felt like with the governor, how they drew the governor on in season 4. They kind of did this with Beth, and they drew her on too long. But that's basically it. Leave your thoughts below on what you think of this episode of The Walking Dead, and stay tuned for more episodes and what you think will happen next or on next week's episode. And that is basically it. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe for more Call of Duty Advanced Warfare content, as well as this series as well, which I will be continuing every Monday. And I hope the episodes are really good so we can discuss things like this. So anyways, I'll see you on whatever my next video happens to be. I'm Ninja Geek. I'm out. Peace.